Okay, we're trying take number 2 here. Hello, hello everybody in my For the Love of Dragons family. Araya Anra here, going live with you on Tuesday as I do each week to answer your questions, bring some topics that might be prevalent for you right now based on the energies that we're moving through. So moving into the holidays, moving into the solstice, and I find it interesting that now I'm on a different device. If you were caught in a few minutes ago, something happened with the signal. I don't know if it's my phone. Yeah, it's getting a little old. But maybe they just wanted me to start right at 11:11. I'm realizing that the time just ticked over to 11:12, so I actually got back on at 11:11, and I love those alignments and those things that are meant to be, and obviously too having a closer up screen. I don't know if this makes it easier for you guys to see the darling ornaments behind me. I've got my little Christmas holiday flair going on here. I've got all my special little dragon ornaments and my little guy here. I'll move him so you can see those, and there's more stretching across, but you might have to go into, there's Frost, he's my favorite. I can't see him, there you go. But I was just sharing how I'm bringing these guys in. I've got a couple of dragons around my home. They're in the garden during the summer months. But this guy is new, and I just find him so precious. And he guards my fireplace. So he sits, and he's sitting here with me today, bringing him here. And his big brother sits and guards all the treasures under the Christmas tree, because we do celebrate Christmas here. And so just wanting to share all those goodies with you today and show you the powerhouse of having these things around you. And I will share too, I've got another one here that is all about union and balance, because that's what we're in right now. I don't know if you guys can feel it. We're moving towards the solstice, which for me this year is really, I think, going to be the prevalent energy and marker of all of 2020. We are ending a ceremony. The Aboriginals in Uluru down in Australia started something January 9th. And it was the completion of the creation story that was on pause for a lot of years. And they finally decided to close off Uluru, keep everyone else out, and complete that. And with the conjuncts coming up with Jupiter and Saturn, starting the 17th of December, moving all the way through the 21st, we have a whole bunch of alignments starting. And if you can feel the energy, if you're connected with energy, we are moving, we're already in the shadow of it. That's what I want to share, because the two planets actually come into the same alignment on the 17th, and then as they work towards the 21st, they will actually come side by side, and then they will actually cross. And so it's bringing up a lot of powerful energies at completion. It's moving us into the age of Aquarius officially, and you've probably been starting to feel things with this, starting to feel a lot of movement of the reflected chaos in the external world with what's going on in your own world, because we're in this phase of merge. And this is what I want to discuss today, that all of these energies moving into this completion space of a whole cycle of time. This has been a huge cycle of time, and it's not just one singular 12,500 year cycle, or a much bigger 62,500 year cycle, or the next one. It's like 5 completion rings that are each have 5 of those smaller cycles within them coming to completion. And so it's huge, and some of these alignments we haven't seen in hundreds of years, others in beyond decades, beyond millennia. So when we move towards that, even though it's not till the 17th, we're already at, what are we, December 8th today, I think? And time is flying, so I can't even keep track. It seems like yesterday that I said, oh my God, we're finally in December. And I'm so excited, because this is like almost the buildup of years and years and years of spiritual practice and understanding and knowing, and culminations of pieces. So as we move towards 10 more days towards the 17th, we're already in the shadow of that, which means we're already being pulled magnetically into those energies. It's already starting to flow towards completion, so that we move into restructuring. And you can see that in the world game as it's reflecting. And anytime you look at the world game, you can see the reflection in what's going on underneath the surface for you, spiritually, subconsciously, and vice versa. So if you're picking up clues here, watch for where they're playing out in the world game, and take those cues to get you further along. We do have help with our guides, and I'm going to talk about them today too. But understanding that this time, this conjunct and this movement forward into a new age. Many people have talked about the new earth of an era of harmony, 1,000 years peace. We really are moving towards that. What does that mean? That means as a whole and individually within that, we are in a space of completion. And completion means we're coming into balance. We're finally coming out of our dualistic separation tendencies and moving into that state of inner union. And union isn't just about your own inner masculine feminine balancing. It's your light, your darkness. It's your all of your incarnational spaces that you are inserted within where you're having experiences. And it's your merge into your highest self. So for many of you, it's into your dragon self, into your higher dragon aspect that is now coming into play here. And so we have opportunities to feel that coming into play on a much bigger scale, because it's been very subtle. It's sometimes been a push towards that, but it's been a lower aspect of the spiral, and now you're up to the final completion. And so it's those little things that are finally left in the closet are gonna come to the surface. You have to look at them, you have to move through and release them, and be willing to let your guides assist you, because there's a lot right now of really being able to release with repentance and forgiveness of all baggage. Everything that you've carried forward is now available to really, with a pure and open heart, release, whether it's someone owing you a karmic debt, you owing a karmic debt. We can't go through the door with any of it, so we're jettisoning all of it, and your guides are here to assist you with that. So these are the energies. I want to share this because this is the energies that we're in right now, and this is I have this as a large 16 by 20 that actually hangs next to another space in my living room next to a pellet stove. And what it does is it allows me to look and feel that energy every day, where it just pulls into my framework. The reminder of stay focused on this move into union. And truly the black and white dragons right now, this is their dance of merge. And there is a meditation that goes into that was created this year for this time. The black, the white, the merging, and the crystal dragon meditations are very powerful in that, of how they move us towards that state. And they're really present right now because they're doing their dance of completion. The dragons are getting ready to hand the batons over to the new space holders, the new grid holders and volunteers that are coming from the Lyran system. All the Golden Wing Lion realm is going to be taking over as Earth shifts into that fifth dimensional expansion. And so as that completes and the black and white dragons are completing their own merge, I've been able to see that within the timelines of really where they've been coming up and working very clearly, but they're really starting that dance of completion, because the elemental foundational base has completed its phase to move up into this. And it's a much bigger story and longer detail that I go into my classes and programs at different aspects than I want to go in here for you. But just to know that it's working very deeply within you. You're going to feel that. You're going to feel a lot of crystalline energies as that's what you're approaching, starting to embed or be around you. So what you might notice, and this is where I'm going to bring in your guides. Your guides, as you know, change over time. As we get to different junctures in our journey and things that we want to learn and things that we want to move to or experience, that your guide team will change. And so you have from birth an angelic, because you're in a human body, you have an angelic team that is a guide and a guardian, and they look like angelic beings. They're more human form. But you will now notice that more of your dragon guides are going to start showing up, and that if you've had some in the past, they might be changing out. They might be helping you move into the tools that you need really for this merge state, really to be ready to go through that fifth dimensional doorway and expand into it in the highest level that you can. So allowing that, tune into that, ask, are my guides changing? Do you sense, sometimes the older ones will stay around just holding space, but a new team will come in. You might have more in your space, because there's a lot more to work on right now as we move into these final stages, and knowing all of your bodies are moving forward. And I think I shared in the last week or two how my own guidance has been really to focus on my physical body and shifting my diet into a space to release a bunch of density and allow a shifting into living foods coming in that are helping my cells realign themselves for the body's ability to actually store, generate, and manifest its own needs from the sunlight, from what our original capacity was. So we're moving towards that. So all of these shifts and changes, the physical body going through a lot of them right now, because they've been the lowest and slowest in frequency of the physical, mental, emotional, energy bodies, right? So as we need to amp up all of those, you're going to feel the most shifts in your physical body and the mental body, in really being forced as these things merge into a need to let go of a lot of structures and belief systems that you've had about what reality looks like, how you perceive 3D reality, and how you operate within it, the belief structures that you have around, because those are going to be challenged right now. For you to move forward, you're going to definitely need to expand those. And here I'm going to try and read some of the comments here. I feel this deeply. I've been purging and healing deep wounds of trauma, triggers, and imprinted ancestral pain. Absolutely. So, Kat, thanks for sharing that. There's so much of that coming up right now, and that's why I want to talk about it, so that people aren't surprised by it or taken aback of, man, maybe it's the energies of what's going on so chaotically on the planet that it's affecting me. And no, it's actually that you are helping affect that shift in the planet, that it's a two-way street. It's a symbiotic relationship that we have with Gaia, and she's finally stepping into her own. And there's been a lot of work to assist her to do that. But as she does, we are dramatically feeling that repercussion, and it's bouncing back and making us step up a notch as well. And Alice in Wonderland is saying, yes, I'm making physical changes to help. Fasting, no more cigarettes, self-love and care. That's awesome. And I'm so grateful to hear that, because I know that was something way back in the session we had that came in from your guides to pay attention to, especially with the cigarettes and how they limit the amount of energy that can flow in, because they're an old wounding. They're blocking some level of trauma. So I thank you guys for being vulnerable and sharing what's going on for you, because it will help in the group for everybody to be sharing, whether you're having a dragon experience or not, that going into a share of, what am I being led to do right now? Why? I get to share on a live video every week for everyone, but it doesn't mean you can't write a post about, you know what, my guidance right now is absolutely saying this, and that will generate conversations and triggers for other people, because the more we can share that, the more people realize that they've had that niggling in the back of their heart space, and that intuitive, like, feeling something, but I know I just don't have time, or it's too expensive to go get organic vegetables, or I can't do it right now, I'm too busy. And those are the things that, if we don't listen to those little voices, it will make a difference in how far forward we move when we have the reception of these energies. And that's really what I keep being shown, is we have no idea how much is on offer energetically right now. That what is coming and what is building for us is almost like a launch pad for starting January in a dramatically new place. That what's on offer, if you're willing to do your work now and focus on your diet, focus on your mental constructs and belief systems, and what comes out of your mouth as you actually create and build your reality around you by what you're saying. If you keep repeating negative thought forms and patterns and stories, then that will keep a certain level of density in that mental framework and in the emotional framework that buys into it. So the more you can pay attention to those things, what you're saying, what you're expressing, what you're feeling or not allowing yourself to feel, will be like a launch pad. We've had opportunities in the past for growth or big leaps, but this is more like we're going to launch you, and you really have an opportunity to go far based on a little bit of extra work right now. So I'm excited about that. I do see my dragon hearts are lining up with some big activations this weekend for the 12/12, and some other pieces that are completing some of the bridge work, some of the work setting up pieces for what the dragons are going to be doing on the 21st. And I hope you'll watch for that, because I will be doing a live meditation. It's free to anybody that wants to join in. It's something that I just know in my heart is a big completion piece that I have to do. And I don't know if you guys can see this. I'm interrupting because I just caught a glimpse of it in the home camera. This tiger iron is very powerful, and I'm excited that I get to wear it today. But this is one of the pieces that is in the layer as well. These potent pendants that carry transmissions just for you. But what's moving forward with the 21st is a free meditation. It is going to be aligned with the time zone of Uluru and the Aboriginal ceremony that they're doing there, because there's a magic box there, and I'll talk more about it on the actual call. But it's 9:04 p.m. on the 21st in Uluru, which for us here on the West Coast, Pacific Standard Time here in Nevada, is 3:34 a.m. on early the morning of the 21st. So whatever logically figure out your time zone based on that. So Portugal and I believe Cape Town, South Africa are 8 hours from that. So 11:34 a.m. So just before noon, midday. Europe would be 12:34, so right around lunchtime. And so wherever you fit in that, East Coast being 6:34 a.m., a little easier. But I will be up. I will probably start the call at about 3:15 so that we can get on and give everybody a chance to get logged in. And then I will start sharing about what's happening with the ceremony itself, and then allow the dragons to take over. It's going to be a very powerful meditation, so I encourage you to join in. So we've got some big stuff going on. I'm very excited to be here for it. You know, people keep saying what an exciting time to be alive, truly, and there are many saying it that aren't even on any kind of a spiritual path. For me, that has always meant, wow, we've got a huge spiritual journey going on right now, and this is like the apex or the ultimate that we've reached so far of energies coming in and aligning for where we're headed. But when I see the average person who doesn't necessarily have a spiritual or religious path feeling this is what an exciting time to be here on the planet, and they're referring to the world game and the restructuring of that and how many things are shifting within that to hold the faith of actually light is triumphing. It may not look like it right now, but allow yourself to just vision and know and hold that highest framework of the best for everyone moving forward, because it's all aligning across all planes, and this is what's super exciting. So we'll see. I'll have some things to share next week after the 12/12 activation, I'm sure. And if you have questions or things, especially moving into this time, please message or email me so that I can talk about them next week before we actually have the solstice. We're only, we're on the 8th, so we're less than 2 weeks away from that, which is beyond exciting. And I feel like it's just going to keep getting better and better and building more and more. So feel into if any of these pieces are for you, if you can join us on the 21st. If you have questions or guidance, I know that some of you have seen or received your newsletters this week. I haven't done one in quite a while. Tons of stuff in that, but announced all the online courses. I put them up this week. There's 4 new online courses. Entering the Dragon Realms, which is a full 4-module big program with a workbook. There is Basics of Meditation, finally got that out. Planetary Healing with the Dragons, which is a reboot of the mini live class I did last January. And then one I've had for a long time but haven't made too public. It's been there, but I mainly focus people that I'm working with that I know need to do some shadow work or go into that, called 40 Days in the Mirror. And if you're needing to do some deep shadow work, I highly recommend it. It will take you into a really different perspective to contemplate and reflect on a short meditation, 5-10 minutes. You can do more, but you know, if you can give 10 minutes, you're going to get a lot out of it, where you focus on pieces that will bring in a real understanding of patterns and things that you've had in this lifetime. So I've noticed there's a little glitch on the site today. When you put it in your cart, the next button doesn't go anywhere. So give that 24 hours. You can go and research it and see, oh, this one's pulling me, sit with it for 24 hours and then go back in, because my web guy's in Australia and he's still asleep right now, so I can't get his attention. Even though the dragons like to wake me up at 3 in the morning, I don't have the same power to do that to him. So have a great week, everybody. Thanks for being here. I love my dragon family. I love that you guys are all here, and I'm very much looking forward to the next group of Dragon Hearts that's coming together. I have only 2 spaces left in that, and it is a powerhouse group. I'm excited beyond words. All right. We'll see you next week, guys. Have a great, great week and dive into your merge. Dive into your state of balance and your guides and let them show you what you need to focus on in these next 2 weeks. All right. Giant dragon hugs to everybody. Bye-bye.